Yo, what's good? It's your man, 100 Grand, Ross with The Rock Never Stops. The Golden State Warriors are back to being strength in numbers. I want to dive into this in this video. If you enjoy it, you know what to do. Smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. The reason why I want to say that they're back, not just in terms of winning. I think we've all seen this winning streak and them playing extremely promising, high-level basketball. But it's something that Klay Thompson shared at the end of the game. He had a really good game, one of his better games of the season. And he said that, hey, we are strength in numbers. This is who we are. And it wasn't just what he said, it was how he said it. It was almost like a relenting to something that he needed to submit himself to. That this team has always been about the collective. That is when they have always been at their best. That's how they started this run. That's how they started this dynasty. It is how they have always been able to overwhelm higher end talents to get to 4 championships. And even Klay Thompson himself has benefited from this free-flowing sharing of the basketball that has included everyone and allowed him to maximize his talent as an elite, all-time great shooter. But something that we've been talking about throughout this season is that this season, and maybe a little bit of last season as well, but especially this season, it seemed to get real individual. It seemed to get really highly focused on the big three of the Golden State Warriors: Steph, Klay, and Draymond. And unfortunately, to start the year, only one of those three was having a good start to the season, and that was Stephen Curry. Klay Thompson was struggling mightily. Draymond was struggling mightily. In different areas, but mightily. Klay's shot couldn't drop, and he was pressing and pressing and pressing to the demise of his own team. Draymond Green was wearing his heart on his sleeve, but to a detrimental place, to an extent where he could not ring himself in. And he was getting suspended constantly, eventually leading to the long-term suspension that he served. But since Draymond has come back, they've been rejuvenated. Steve Kerr has settled into and been forced to settle into the guys he can rely on this team outside of that big three, because he had to. The season was going down the drain with an all-time great player still playing in his peak in Stephen Curry. And they had to look down that bench and start trusting guys that Steve Kerr has been reticent to try to trust throughout this season and the last couple seasons. And so we saw Jonathan Kuminga emerge. We saw Brandon Podziemski emerge. Trace Jackson Davis emerge. And now we see Lester Quinones. We see Gui Santos, the return of Gary Payton II. This team is more stacked than ever. And let's not forget about Andrew Wiggins, who is playing his best basketball of the season. And it couldn't come a second too soon. With Draymond Green's return and his resurging of the defense and ball movement and leadership, we see this team falling into place. And the last piece was Klay Thompson. The last piece was Klay being able to relent and say, it's about the team. I'm here for the team. And so what we saw in this game was something that I did in a previous video where I talked about what he needed to do to save his career. You began to see Klay, one, better shot selection. He's more content in being a part of the flow of the offense than he is getting his shot off. And as a result, it's created openings for guys like Andrew Wiggins, who had the highest plus minus of this game at a plus 31. 17 points, 2 rebounds, a steal, only 1 turnover. 100% from the three-point line, 60% from the field. With the ball flowing and with 2 elite shooters pulling defenders to the perimeter, Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga and even Draymond Green in this game was able to feast at the rim. Gary Payton II was able to get to the rim. Brandon Podziemski did much of his damage in getting to the rim. Trace Jackson Davis, in only 9 minutes, had 14 points, 4 rebounds, getting to the rim. You see, when guys play their part, they know their part and they accept their part, it begins to shift things. And the entirety of the unit, the engine, flows. It hums. And this Golden State Warriors offense, team in general, was absolutely humming in this game. Despite Stephen Curry having an extremely slow first half, they were up almost double digits going into the second half. You saw Klay Thompson get himself going in the second half as well, while the crew, the rest of the team, was able to carry them in the first half. This is what it means to be strength in numbers for the Golden State Warriors. That it is not dependent upon any one individual, but each individual playing their part allows them to excel at a level that allows them to supersede any individual talent. This game against a surging Utah Jazz, the Golden State Warriors only had to play Stephen Curry 32 minutes. Andrew Wiggins, 28 minutes. Draymond Green, 23 minutes. When you can get away with playing your top three guys less than 32 minutes in a big win over a good team, and make no mistake about it, the Utah Jazz are a good team. When you can get away with playing them that little minutes, that tells you, that speaks to how you are playing as a team in general. Not only do you have the talent, but the talent is fitting together. And as I've said before, we have to keep in mind that the Golden State Warriors have one of the toughest schedules of any team in the NBA in the first half of the season. The second half of this season is shaping up to allow them to go on a run, to continue this run. And if they continue to maintain this culture, this outlook, this mindset of strength in numbers, I expect this run to lead them back into the playoffs. But as always, I want to know what you all think. Get at me in the comment section. Do you agree about this run and guys playing their role, finding their place? Do you think that there's any adjustments that need to continue to be made? I would actually be interested in seeing Kenny Atkinson coach a few more games, because I love that he was able to get guys in like Trace Jackson Davis. I love that he was intentional about getting guys in like Moses Moody. This team flowed. He was attentive. He was aware. He was proactive, anticipatory, far more than we ever see Steve Kerr. And I think that that's also a part of why this team played so well. So I would like to see another couple games of him at the helm. But as always, holler at me in the comment section. We're going to continue the conversation there. Like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification, and I'm out. Peace.